Smacking Out the Podcast's college football wrap-up is brought to you by Doyle Hardgrave Construction, and also by $8 a month auto insurance.
Less than $100 a year, but we still got you covered.
And now, Smacking Off's college football wrap-up with your host, Shannon Madden.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Smacking Off the Podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Madden. I'm joined with Doug Phillips, my co-host and producer. Doug, did you watch any football this weekend?
I did not.
Yeah, you and I, we were busy doing some other stuff.
I had to get the Christmas stuff out, and I was on the roof.
Well, we had the skeet shooting contest Saturday, too. That was pretty much kept us all day Saturday.
I did check out some of the scores, though. I see that UAB has clinched their division.
That right there is my favorite news of the night, and I think we just need to focus on that tonight, and that only. UAB is in the Western Division of Conference USA, and through a strange miracle, because there was a three-way tie, and there was a lot of confusion as to who is going to be the division champion, UAB pulled it out. So kudos to my folks. All right, well, I guess that's it. Do you want to talk about anything else, or yeah, let's just go ahead and end the show.
I think we can play Christmas music.
Can we play some? Because I got a keyboard here, and I can sing a little bit.
Silver bells, yeah.
Silver bells. It's Christmas time at Kmart.
Let's look at these scores, I guess.
That song got me fired.
Did it really?
From Kmart.
Kmart's is a dying freaking enterprise.
Oh, they're dead.
Is it completely dead now?
I think Sears bought them out and is selling all their stuff at Sears, with the 4 Sears locations still open.
Ohio State pounded Michigan's ass.
Yeah, so now we have a really interesting conversation as to who is the true number one team in the land. You've got two really, really, really good teams sitting at top with Ohio State and LSU.
I think it's Ohio State. I would have Clemson at 2, LSU at 3.
For anybody that supposed that Texas A&M was going to give any problems to LSU, LSU is really on a roll. They're on a tear right now.
Yep.
They've been playing good all season, but for them to also hold them and Kellen Mond to 7 points, I mean that's a pretty huge statement win for the Tigers of LSU.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, seems like some other Tigers had some sort of game this weekend. Clemson played South Carolina.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they sure
did.
And
they beat that cock.
Yeah, there was some discussion about this shitty-ass South Carolina team that beat Georgia was going to give Clemson some trouble, and of course we all know that's bullshit. Clemson's days of taking it up the ass by South Carolina are long over.
Yeah, that went with Spurrier.
Yeah, sure did. Speaking
Georgia.
of UGA faced a fearsome Georgia Tech team that is no longer running the triple option and is probably reconsidering that. 52-7. That was a brutal beatdown. Well, I can't see that other score. Utah beat Colorado.
They did.
45-15. Utah is definitely making a claim that the Pac-12 does belong in the playoffs. What do you think?
No, I mean I think.
Yeah, I mean if they do win they're going to have to win the Pac-12 championship. But if Utah does win the Pac-12 championship as a one-loss team, do they somehow enter?
I think if Oklahoma wins out, I think Oklahoma will be in. Just because of name. I mean they're not going to bring in Utah unless they have no options. In my opinion, Bailey's going to love to hear that. But I think it's true. Now, had Alabama.
I mean, Oklahoma is, to be fair, is a blue blood program.
We wasn't going to talk about this. Had Alabama pulled the win out yesterday?
What are you talking about?
Alabama
played yesterday?
Yes.
I had no idea.
Had Mac Jones not scored 2 touchdowns for the other team?
The Mac. Can I talk about this for half a second, please? Mac Jones, and I did not know this. I'm an Alabama fan, and I sheepishly admit that I did not know that Mac Jones is the Mac stands for McCorkle.
Right, of course.
McCorkle.
What else would it stand for?
Everything but McCorkle.
You thought
every other motherfucking thing.
You figured it could be Mac Daddy.
Every other thing that I could think of other than McCorkle.
McEnroe. McIntyre.
Yeah.
Mac Daddy.
No, none of that. It's McCorkle. Yeah, that's like that is like, oh wow.
Yeah,
Not even McLovin. I would have loved McLovin. You remember what movie was that from? Everybody's screaming it right now at the speakers. Oh shit! You know the movie about
do I know it really?
the kids? Yeah, that was real popular. Why the fuck?
It was
can't
real
I think
popular
of
with the
it?
kids.
Why can't I think about this now? No, it was a movie about the kids, and they were doing the thing, and the one thing, and the guy was named McLovin. He had a fake ID.
I don't know how I don't remember it with that description.
I don't know. I think I was drunk when I watched it. Okay, Oklahoma took care of Bedlam, like pretty much, kind of most everybody thought they would. 34-16. That's how you handle your rival, I guess. Wisconsin. This was a big game for me. It really was, because it finally put to bed any questions of whether Minnesota was an actual, real threat to possibly Cinderella dance their way into the Big Ten championship.
And here's one for you here. Miles Watch 2019. Baylor over Kansas 61-6.
Hey, Les got 6 points though. If Les wasn't there, it would have been -3. Bet your motherfucking ass.
-3.
Yeah.
So that was Kansas's quest for their second conference win, which did not come. Timothy Bailey said that they weren't going to get any conference wins, and then he rephrased and said that they're going to get one.
Yeah, I think what my claim is that Kansas would get to 5 wins under Les Miles in his first year, and I was sadly mistaken. Sorry, it just didn't work out.
What did they get to?
3 wins?
I think so. Yeah.
I believe it was, yeah. So they're not the absolute worst in the.
It's 3 of the best wins in America, though. Have you seen some of those? The footage of those wins?
Also, there's been breaking news as we were preparing for the podcast that Ole Miss head coach Matt Luke has found himself out of a job.
And also Boston College's coach John Doe. I don't know his name.
John Doe. Yeah.
I don't really know his name, but he lost his job as well.
Yeah, nobody cares about him. Nobody cares about Boston College.
Now, here's the big subject. Is it time to fire Saban?
We also got to bring up the Penn State massive win over lowly Rutgers, 27-6. Yeah.
Fuck those Nittany Lions.
Yeah, it's about that. It's about like that. But yeah, the most important game of yesterday, at least in the state of Alabama, as far as Doug and myself are concerned, the Alabama Crimson Tide traveled to Jordan-Hare. Yeah, and bear in mind, we all know that Nick Saban has never, ever won against a 9-win Auburn team.
Well, they wasn't a 9-win Auburn team.
They weren't.
But there was
Alabama
there was actually
decided.
another stat. The other stat is he's never won in Jordan-Hare when his team and Auburn are both ranked in the top 25.
So I still think it is time for Gus Malzahn to go. Auburn fans have been fickle with him for quite some time. He's got some success under his belt. He needs to get on. And Auburn needs to hire a Saban former assistant.
The ones that never beat him?
Yeah, all of them. Nobody's ever beat him. None of his assistants have ever beat him. So Auburn gets
I got
shopping
news
for
for
that
you.
assistant. Hey, that's a fine stock.
If he don't
of
get that
coaches.
defense under control, though, it's coming.
Yeah, it is. Well, and it's been coming every year for Malzahn, and he does this. It's the craziest thing. 9-10 wins. He gets Auburn fans hopes up. The following year they come out flat. 8 wins, 7 wins. Shitty bowl game.
Yep.
A little bit of promise here and there, but it's really been a back and forth situation with Auburn fans and Gus Malzahn, and I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon because the same Auburn fans that were dog cussing him on this very show have now gone back and quietly rescinded some of that, at least today, anyways. And of course, that's going to be subject to change whenever they go to whatever bowl game they're going to go to and lose to UCF again or some bullshit.
We don't have all I had was the top 10 scores, but there was a few other games to note. Was that Kentucky beat the dog shit out of Louisville?
Oh, they really did. That was a thoroughly impressive.
Lynn Bowden or Lynn Bowden, I don't know how you pronounce that. I mean, it's spelled just like Bobby Bowden.
I'd say Bowden. I'm gonna vote Bowden on that.
All right. Well, anyway,
I got Mafilio Keith's name the very first time, so you're gonna have to trust me on this one.
He nearly had 300 yards rushing. He threw 2 passes, completed 1 for 4 yards. They didn't need to pass. But anyway, let's go ahead.
So you're telling me that they're pretty much running the triple option in Kentucky now? Excellent.
That or he's just running off the cuff, running out of the option to run or pass, and he's choosing to run every time just about.
Yeah, Robert Arthur's had quite a bit to say about him on this broadcast.
All right, so next week, this is what we got coming up. Friday night. I like what the Pac-12 does with that. Going at it Friday night, they've got no competition. I might watch that.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game. Oregon versus Utah, and that is in California. So
I like Oregon by 10.
Completely neutral site. That's not a very good proximity from both schools. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Who do you like in that game?
I like Oregon by at least 10.
Wow, and if Oregon wins this game, then that shuts Pac-12 completely out of the playoff picture.
Yeah, but Oregon will be in the Rose Bowl.
Woo! Yeah. Anyway. Okay, and speaking of which, Big 12 championship game, a similar situation here, Baylor versus Oklahoma. Baylor's definitely looking for revenge. Oklahoma is playing some pretty good football right now.
I really believe the winner of this game is going to the CFP.
But if Utah beats Oregon, and again, this is also, there's some supposition here.
Baylor's got a better resume than Utah.
We're supposing that, Ohio State is, of course, is going to win out. We're supposing that, because Georgia's also really going to upset this situation too. I would say on paper, Georgia has a much better resume than Oklahoma does, or Baylor for that matter. I don't know. It's still wide ass open right now. Alabama getting out of the way, it definitely helps the playoff picture a little bit, but it is what
I don't see Wisconsin beating. Well, Wisconsin's got more than one loss, so they're not getting in even if they beat Ohio State. Ohio State probably still gets in. I still say the winner of Baylor Oklahoma is in. I think it'll be Oklahoma. I'm not sure though. Baylor has they really looked good in the last since they.
Wouldn't that be a Cinderella story for Baylor, really, or for Utah? Utah was back in the BCS era, made their way in, but Baylor hasn't had this kind of limelight in quite some time. If they're able to actually pull off that win versus Oklahoma, that's going to be a tough situation for them. The MAC championship game.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, and the Sun Belt one. Yeah, it's a good one too. We'll talk about that on Thursday.
App State. Yeah, that's those are actually going to be fairly decent games. They'll be fun to watch.
I guess it could be worse.
But the one I'm really looking forward to is a Conference USA championship game that's kind of sort of built by Bama, if you think about it.
Well, yeah.
You got Bill Clark, who is the coach of the UAB, which is the University of Alabama at Birmingham, part of the University of Alabama trustee system. So essentially they are an extension of Alabama's program. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be playing at Florida Atlantic in Boca Raton.
Yep.
Old Lane Kiffin.
I like
that guy.
Do you like Florida Atlantic in this one? I
kind of do, because this is a home game for them. I mean, it's going to be tough. Bill Clark does come in with a tremendous defense, though. So I'm pulling for my Blazers. I think they both have even records, do they not? Or not? They're both. Excuse me. Both of their records are the same.
I think so. I'm not sure what it is. Is it what two losses each?
No. I believe they both have either 3 or 4 losses apiece. No, UAB's 3 losses. I know, because they were 8-3 last, so it'd be 9-3. And I guess I don't know. I need to go back and check who Florida Atlantic played this weekend. We've been so geared up about all of the big games. We've kind of forgot about our little friends over there at Conference USA. What's that child doing in there? Do you hear?
Yeah.
I think she's assuming her ultimate form.
Maybe. All right, we got the American championship game, which is a rematch.
I mean, just turn right back around and play this game again. Who do you liking in this one? And of course, this one's at Memphis again.
Right.
God, Cincinnati really can't catch a break, can they?
I like Cincinnati because it's.
I do, but at the same time, this is at Memphis.
I don't know. It's hard to beat a team 2 times in a row, especially if the talent level's pretty high.
Oh, hang on, I'm getting a phone call. Don't look at me like that.
All right. SEC championship game, Georgia versus LSU.
Forgot I had that shit on.
I like Georgia. I just have to be completely honest. Georgia by 21.
No, dude. You're not giving LSU any credit. It's going to be Georgia by 14.
Okay. I think LSU should be able to take care of business.
Should?
But I will definitely be pulling for Georgia.
Should?
Yeah, I'm a Georgia fan now.
Well,
I've always kind of liked them, but now something about since yesterday, I've really been focusing on my Georgia Bulldogs.
You gonna give me
I'm gonna ride Georgia's dick like
Shannon Russell rides every other day.
Yep.
That's not playing Alabama, or that is playing Alabama.
I got to.
Yeah. I think that's good.
All right, Mountain West, Hawaii at Boise. That's a darn good one.
Hawaii at Boise. Yeah, that'll be. There's not really much.
All right, ACC
ACC
championship game, Virginia and Clemson. Stranger things have happened. I think Clemson wins the game, but that's one of the more interesting ones because Virginia has gotten a lot better in the last few weeks.
This is true, but Clemson has played at a very, very high level all season long. Now,
I expect Clemson to play.
All of their opponents have been pretty piddly, but
I haven't pulled up the betting lines on these games, but I suspect that Clemson's favored by 20 plus, and they'll probably cover. Ohio State versus Wisconsin. Don't even turn this one on. It's not worth watching.
You think?
Ohio State killed them the first time, and they will kill them this time.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do. Well, there you have it. There's the games right there.
All right, you want to do this live thing, and then we're gonna we were gonna have Timothy Bailey on. That's been moved to next Sunday. We're gonna bring on.
We're gonna have some fun tonight.
Yeah.
I'm really. We're gonna have fun with Timothy. We always enjoy Timothy's company on the show, but we again, look, we're both Alabama fans. We're not gonna beat around the bush here.
Yep.
And if you thought that that's all that we were going to talk about the Iron Bowl, then you're dead wrong. We're going to bring our heavy hitter, Auburn fans. One, Mr. Walter Bryan, Gabriel Griffin. We didn't hear back from Eric Easterwood, did we?
No.
No, he's busy tonight,
Yes.
doing family stuff, I'm sure. And we're also going to have one loudmouth LSU fan, one Mrs. Shannon Russell. Miss Shannon, I said Mrs. I don't know. Is she's not a Mrs., is she?
I don't know. We'll have to
We need to
her.
ask her this. We need to pry into her personal life.
Let's
a
do
little
this
bit
live
further.
championship real fast, and then we'll get to that.
Let's do it.
This week's Live Championship Top Contenders is brought to you by Bad Month Tires, cuz who the fuck can afford Goodyear? Those fuckers are expensive as shit. And also by Dr. Thunder, not nearly as good as Dr. Pepper, but a whole hell of a lot cheaper. And now, our champions of life for this week.
All right.
I'm digging this music.
I am too. I love it. It really puts me in the mood.
I like it. I'm a fan.
Well, we had a little shake-up this week. Let's just go ahead and get to number 6. Oh, wait. I need to go back to this other scene. 1 second. All right, number 6. All right, coming in at number 6 this week is your Minnesota Golden Gophers.
The Golden Gophers. They looked like absolute, complete dog shit yesterday. Wisconsin ran all the way up and over them.
True story.
That's it. No more Minnesota. Minnesota's playoff hopes are dashed.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a great run. We've enjoyed it, but it is what it is.
These guys are hanging around. They've definitely got a chance to make a surge and possibly still win this thing. Is your Georgia Bulldogs.
Uncle Lou. That's
The only way they can avoid this and just get out of eligibility is by beating LSU.
That's it. That's all they got to do.
I don't see if it'll.
All they have to do is beat LSU by 1 point. And I think that they cruise right on in, and they get out of our live championship poll.
All right. Here at number 4, making their life contenders debut this year. And they're getting picked on a little bit here, but and I really don't think there was a lot of expectations. I don't know how they ended up there, but that's the Virginia
Tech,
Hokies.
the Hokies. Yeah, oh well. Yeah. Moving right along.
Moving right along. All right, here is one of the biggest.
It's another team that can inch
team
their
can-
way off of the list again. We'll win.
By winning the conference, yeah.
Yes, by winning the conference.
The Oregon Ducks.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. The mighty Michigan Wolverines.
The Shea Pattersons.
Something.
Those people.
This team has a real good shot at it too, but it's going to be hard to overtake the team.
I'm going to go ahead and call it right now. Jim Harbaugh to Auburn.
To Auburn?
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
And Gus Malzahn to.
Gus Malzahn to Arkansas,
How
though.
about to Michigan? Come on.
No, he's going to Arkansas.
All right, your number 1 life championship
Motherfuck.
contender for this week.
Who motherfuck this whole poll?
It's going to be hard.
Who the fuck voted for that shit? You got a picture of the voters? I want to see which motherfuckers voted for this shit right now. Oh, okay. I get a list of who voted for who. Sky Anastasia, your ass is mine. Alex, your ass is mine. Tiggy, no, Tiggy put us at 3. Alan Foxworth, you can suck my balls. Dane Kelly, lick my
Alan
tongue.
Foxworth is a Bama fan too.
Yeah, fuck him. Jamie, no. Kyle Gollett. Kyle Gollett does not have Alabama anywhere on this list.
I told Kyle
Kyle
Golick.
Gollett is a friend of this show.
It's the weirdest thing. I told Kyle Golick one time earlier this year, if Bama does not get in, if they don't win the conference and they don't get in the CFP, they're going to win it.
And how's Walter going to put us at number 2? They just fucking beat us. You should have just put us at what, number 1 and just fucking been done with it. You take this piece of paper right here.
He's teasing you.
Yeah, you can take this piece of paper right here and shred it up into long pieces about yay long,
Yeah.
and use it for toilet paper a little bit later on. I appreciate that.
I don't know. That don't sound like it'd work as toilet paper. though.
Y'all can kiss my fucking ass.
Man, I really should have put a picture. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that
Do
anyway.
we charge people to listen to the show? Can we start charging other people that are not Alabama fans to listen to the show now?
Sure.
This is pissing me off. It's fucking life championship
I'm-
bullshit. Whose idea was this anyways? Boo Joe.
Maybe. I'm pulling
Good,
up.
Alabama.
I am going to pull a picture up right now of these live photos, so people can get a good look at these bastards.
And we'll be posting their addresses and telephone numbers here in just a moment. Direct.
Here's the
direct
motherfuckers right here.
Yeah. Except for Tiggy Doms. Tiggy Doms is still not. We still can't get
And
a
Kyle.
address for him.
We can't do with Kyle either because he didn't even put out.
Well, yeah, but Kyle's cool. So you just go ahead and just don't worry about him.
Okay, but
For the
then,
rest of them motherfuckers,
yeah.
yeah, take them out. As soon as you see them, just fucking take them out
Here,
and
let's
start
go ahead
beating the
and-
living dog shit out of all of them.
all right,
Yeah.
this one here.
Alex Bryan.
Yep. Look at this fucker.
Yeah.
Look at that arrogant fucking.
Yeah,
look
take
at,
a good
look
look
at this
at-
motherfucker right here.
Take a
Dane
good
Kelly.
look at Dane Kelly. Dane Kelly, public enemy number 1. Jamie Gibson,
Yep.
suck my balls.
Mhm.
Sky Anastasia, he knows he can suck my
Yep.
balls.
And I think we should.
Kyle,
go,
you're cool.
Let's
And
go,
Walter did put us at number 2, but I think he was just fucking teasing with me on that. Can we call him? Can we call him and talk to him about this?
Sure.
Let's do it. Let's call him up and talk to him right now.
You want to go to a commercial first?
Yeah, let's do it.
You know, if you were to follow a busy doctor as he makes his daily round of calls, you'd find yourself having a mighty busy time keeping up with him. Time out for many men of medicine usually means just long enough to enjoy a cigarette. And because they know what a pleasure it is to smoke a mild, good-tasting cigarette, they're particular about the brand they choose. In a repeated national survey, doctors in all branches of medicine, doctors in all parts of the country were asked, "What cigarette do you smoke, doctor?" Once again, the brand named most was Camel. Yes, according to this repeated nationwide survey, more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette. Why not change to Camels for the next 30 days and see what a difference it makes in your smoking enjoyment? See how Camels agree with your throat. See how mild and good tasting a cigarette can be.
Coca-Cola, hit the pot, 12 ounces, that's a lot. Twice as much more nickels do. Fancy Cola is the drink for you. Nickel, 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 nickel.
Hello, I'm Bud Wilkinson, football coach at the University of Oklahoma. I'd like to talk to Bob and Sally here and to youngsters and parents everywhere about a very serious problem. Studies show that 4 out of 5 school children today do not get a nutritionally proper breakfast, and many eat none at all. Now, as a coach, I know how impossible it is for anyone to do his best, mentally or physically, without a good breakfast to start the day, especially you growing youngsters.
But what do you call a good breakfast, Coach?
Well, Bobby, here's what experts call ideal. Fruit, a cereal like oatmeal, milk, bread, and butter. That way you get up to 1/3 of your day's protein, plus important vitamins and minerals. It's a perfect breakfast for everyone.
But I thought oatmeal was for little kids.
Little kids, Sally? Well, oatmeal is the favorite cereal of our football players, and those little kids average 190 pounds and 6 feet tall.
Gee, Coach, that's good enough for me. Me too.
And we're back with Smacking Off the Podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Madden. I'm joined with Doug Phillips. And we got our crew together. One Mr. Gabriel Griffin, one Mr. Walter Bryan, one Miss Shannon Russell, and us. That's it. We're here. We're all here. Let's talk about this. The Iron Bowl, 2019.
That was yesterday. That was yesterday.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Auburn's stellar performance. Let me pull them stats up again because I know that we're definitely going to need to talk about that a whole lot.
It was kind of
Auburn's stellar.
Kind of ugly.
So I have a question here. How does this joke end?
Stats don't win games.
We have two Bama fans, 2 Auburn fans, and an LSU fan walking to a bar. How does it end? That's a good one, ain't it?
Well, I don't drink, so y'all have fun with all that, and I'm going to come collect y'all when y'all are good and drunk, and then you don't want to know what's going to happen with that.
The Auburn fan will probably get drunk.
Put me down for a tarp, some zip ties, and butter flavor Crisco.
Well, let me go ahead and just say this to go ahead and get this started correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I want to separate LSU and Auburn. Auburn has really taken Alabama to the brink for this whole decade, and 3 wins. Gus has 3 wins versus Saban. No other coach has that. Not even Dabo.
Well, basically 4.
There is not a single active coach right now that has beaten Saban at Alabama 3 times.
Yeah.
Except for Gus Malzahn. Gus Malzahn is Auburn's great white hope.
Well, he pulled out the stops yesterday, but, it's still a disappointing season. I'll say this, in terms of the Iron Bowl, it hurt Alabama a lot more than it, helped Auburn's standings, for sure. And Coach Gus, I think he did a great job yesterday. I don't think he did a good job all year, but that was a great win. Yeah, he does lack consistency, man. I meant to go back and look at the first drive of the Iron Bowl because I actually missed the very first possession. And I wanted to see if we ran the ball on first down or passed it. I wanted to see if he changed his tendencies yesterday and if that was, the key factor.
I saw the
Because
same tendencies that I've been seeing. If something works, he does it again, and that makes me want to pull my hair out.
I don't think his tendencies.
It drives me insane.
I don't think
Now,
his tendencies have changed for a majority of the season. He's been gay this whole season, is he not?
well, he's very radical. His tendencies are radical, to be honest.
Erratic.
I mean, that's what Gus is known for, his radical tendencies.
So we're talking about.
Offense,
Are we talking about Gus's sexuality, or are we talking about Bo Nix's sexuality? I'm confused now.
Well, what I'm talking about is yesterday Booby was healthy enough to play, and he ran for 117 yesterday, and that was a big factor in the game.
They've completely skipped over that like 3 times now.
Well, what I saw is that Auburn was trying to exploit the missing Dylan Moses, and that's going to be one of my points. Is that Bama had 3 key injuries. I didn't know.
Dylan's huge.
I didn't know about the kicker, but Dylan Moses, he was going to line up all the freshmen correctly all year. And then it ended up biting them in the butt with LSU and Auburn.
Yeah.
If you formation a piss out of Bama, they're going to get confused, and that's what happened in the end of the game with that punt situation.
Bama's defense was poor yesterday. I mean, you got some surge up front.
3. I think you give up. Yeah, Bama gave up 3 touchdowns to Auburn. That's bad.
It's more than I thought we'd get.
Total offensive output for the Auburn Tigers was 354 yards. They allowed 173 yards passing, and just edged out Alabama by 1 measly yard in rushing, 181.
I thought we was going to need 402 from Bo Nix and 2 from the rushing to have a chance. But I mean,
you guys have to admit that if you've seen these stats, if somebody would have said, "Hey, I'm going to show you the future," and this was on Friday, here's the stats.
I'm not going to tell you the final score. I'm
But
just going to
here's
show
the
you the
stats.
stats, the box score of the game.
Oh, please. Stats don't.
Well,
Shut the hell up.
Wait a minute. Wait. If you tell me that we get 2 defensive touchdowns, then I think we might win that game.
Well,
if you tell me that.
I don't know too many teams that won't. If you get 2 pick sixes in a game, that's
LSU,
going to be
the
pretty
last
much
time
your
we played-
game.
LSU's 1-8 versus Alabama in the last 9. We're talking about Auburn.
Why are we even talking about LSU?
Auburn's for real.
We talk so much about that goddamn game, I swear, man. We're talking about the Iron Bowl now. We brought you on to talk about the motherfucking Iron Bowl. Because you're an Auburn fan now, right?
She might have something to say here.
I want to know, your dad's an Auburn, or your dad's an Alabama fan, Shannon. Why do you hate your dad so bad? I mean, really, I think that's what this boils down to.
I do not hate my dad.
Daddy issues.
You really do.
Hot.
I mean, you hate Alabama so bad. I think you're projecting your daddy issues.
I don't hate
every
Alabama.
time that you talk bad about Alabama.
Anyway, so back to what I was saying. 2 years ago, when LSU played
2 years
Bama
ago.
and BBS,
We were talking about yesterday.
BBS, hold on.
I'm listening.
We had better stats
Why?
than Alabama, but we still lost. So
Why'd
can't
you
always
lose?
go
No,
by that.
yeah,
Why did you lose?
Because
though?
we didn't execute on the big plays. Hence,
Were there
you missed a
turnovers?
field goal.
But-
You
Missed
threw
a field
two-
goal.
But
you
the
just threw
stats were really
interceptions.
close on
You
that
threw
game.
pick
There wasn't 200-yard difference in.
You gave 14 points up just in pick
I get
sixes.
that, but there still
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
200-yard
Whatever.
difference.
Yeah.
In,
All right,
Y'all
I
lucky your kicker
have
didn't
something
miss
to say.
more than one field
Go
goal.
ahead, Gable.
He normally misses like
Just
every
talk
time.
over.
We're lucky.
She'll do that to you.
We're lucky,
So
though.
I kept up with my own stat sheet right here.
Uh-huh.
Now, Matt
Y'all are
Jones is the
lucky he
backup
missed that one
quarterback.
field goal.
He is. Threw for over 300
All right,
yards against that really good
I
Auburn
was going to keep up
defense.
with contested passes.
Yeah.
And he was 2 for 4. 2 of them ended up being touchdowns for Auburn. And he threw one that was a little down and up to, I think it was Devontae Smith or Henry Ruggs. Ended up being a Bama touchdown. And then one, I can't think the other one, but he was 2 for 4. But both of them ended up being 14 points both ways.
Our defense played pretty well, though. I
I
point this
knew
out.
that them receivers are going to be the difference in the game.
I'm not
But y'all
gonna.
need to be chips.
Listen,
Hey, hold on.
I
a
mean,
minute.
there's
Auburn
never gonna
fans
be
There
something
are
like that.
several.
about this moral victory crap that they're trying to pull.
No, I'm not
Well,
pulling up.
no,
Fuck, fuck a moral victory. Hey, listen.
Well, yeah, let's go ahead and establish this right now. Alabama, and we're just going to get it out of the way so everybody is clear on this. We know full well that Alabama will not be playing in the national championship this year.
Sure.
We know
They
that for
won't
a
play.
Bama
fact.
has
Nope.
69 4 and 5 stars.
Yeah.
There's no reason for Saban to say it's unfair. There's no reason for Bama fans to say, oh, we got
Right, Sean.
cheated. No, you didn't get cheated.
We
No,
did get cheated. We got
That-
cheated
that
by our
was
own
a
fucking
field goal.
quarterback.
Gus
mean-
Malzahn just took advantage of saying, "Hey, look, there's not 6 of my guys down. You need to review that." We had our field goal team on the field whether it was going to be a second on clock or not. We had our
Right.
guys ready on the
That
field.
was the referee's
No.
fault. They should have
Yeah.
either blown the play dead sooner or. But listen,
But
the
Saban's
clock
sitting there
had to
saying
stop
that you need
because
3
it-
seconds and spike it. There's
it was
the
a-
refs are trying to say, "Hey, look,
Well,
hey,
it was
look,
a first
coach,
down
they're
play.
not trying to
Look,
spike
y'all,
it.
look.
They're trying to
Everybody,
kick the
everybody
field
just
goal,
calm
dude."
down just for a half second because I got one thing I want to say.
It was a first down play. So the
We
clock
all
had to
knew
stop.
going into this game that Alabama was going to win this game. We just happened to win it for the wrong team. That's all.
Well, no. Listen, I gotta change the narrative here, because that was a very good Alabama team that we beat yesterday. I mean, everybody's down on this Alabama team, but they're not that bad, man.
They're not terrible. They're not terrible, but the
Of course they're not terrible. They won the game for Auburn.
Defense-
Shit, that Auburn fans should be
named the
celebrating
top
and
8
rejoicing this Alabama team right now.
d-
The greatest team that Auburn ever had
But
had win for them.
let's not get too carried away though. This is not a good Alabama defense. Not
Well,
by
you
any
missed
no,
standard
God, no.
measured
And your
against
defense
any
is terrible. Your
Saban.
defense is
Y'all
terrible.
want a participation trophy?
Your defense is terrible.
No,
but
do
Doug,
you?
Hey, Doug, if you name the top 10 wide receivers in the country, Alabama's got 4 of them. And I'm not even exaggerating. I mean, that's a good. Y'all have a good team.
Nobody
you
was
can-
really talking
you
about
can-
Waddle at the
Now,
beginning of
I
the
will
year.
say, I will agree. If
That's
Bama
not
has
true,
to,
Walter. That's not true. Y'all spitting out stuff that's not true.
No, that is
Y'all
true.
accuse- No,
That's
it's
true.
not.
Yeah, it is.
It's not.
That
Alabama has top 4 receivers. LSU has Jordan.
It
Chase.
is, and they underachieved with it.
No,
I
it's
said if
not.
you
I will make a post in
I
the
don't
group when
care.
we're done.
I know you're gonna make
Post
a
it.
post.
Post it 10 times.
No, wait.
She
Wait,
will in 10
Shannon,
different
I
groups.
said top 10. Name 7 other receivers that are better than Alabama's 4. That's what I said.
Hang on,
Jordan
she's pulling up the
Chase might
LSU
be
roster
better.
right now.
Jamar
Give her a
Chase
second.
and Justin Jefferson are better.
No, Justin Jefferson's not. I'm sorry, he's not.
Jordan
Jalen
Chase
Waddle's
might be
got
better than
4.2
Russ.
speed. Jalen Waddle put on a show yesterday.
Yeah, he
man.
did.
He's a
showed
top
out.
25 draft pick right
besides
now.
yesterday,
Oh, easily.
When did you hear Waddle's name? Hardly.
I knew he was good though. I mean, I've seen
I
it
don't
before.
care.
He just
Where's
didn't
he
get the
been all
opportunity.
season? Where's he
But
been all season?
that's what I wanted to point out earlier was I think Chris
Catching-
Tutt hurt his knee
Catching
on
touchdowns
that punt
for
return
kickoff returns. He's
a
been
little
doing
bit,
that a lot.
and then that made it tougher for him to cover Jalen Waddle all day with a
Yeah, I was
a
wondering
limp
why
knee. But
in the second half, why did we just put Sherwood on Waddle? But I mean, I guess
I don't know. Hey, I'm amazed that Tutt covered him as well as he did with a busted knee. I'm sure it was hurting a little bit.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would have switched out Daniel Thomas or
No,
just someone. I mean, on Waddle.
Waddle was looking
That
like
was
Bo
just-
Jackson
It
in
wouldn't have
Tecmo
mattered though
Bowl.
who covered him yesterday.
He was,
Waddle
man.
was
All
on
I'm gonna
fire
tell you
yesterday.
is
You could
Jamar
not
Chase
touch that
and Justin
motherfucker when he
Jefferson
grabbed that ball.
Are ranked higher than Jerry Judy.
Oh, I
Y'all
get
can write
that.
that one down.
But Jerry Judy's already been named receiver, the best receiver in the country before. So I mean, it ain't like it went away.
I'm
I'm
overnight.
going by the stats. The stats.
The
The stats don't matter. Stats don't
You
matter.
just said stats doesn't matter.
Well, what about career stats then?
Other than Waddle, them guys just have nothing to prove.
Well, first of all,
Waddle
we have
still
a
has
couple
something
freshmen.
to prove. So Devontae Smith and Ruggs,
Hey,
I
man.
mean, they ain't got nothing else to do. I wouldn't be surprised if they sit out the bowl game.
Yeah, Alabama played a hell of a game yesterday, man. They got some great players.
I mean, that was a
Offensively, they
classy
did. I
game,
mean,
but
not good enough to overcome two.
Walter.
Dude,
Shannon, you
Two
know they
pick
did. That
sixes.
was and LSU has. Hey, Joe Burrow set the single
We
season
still talking about
records
LSU?
yesterday.
Fuck.
I mean, nobody's played better than Joe
You know
Burrow
why?
this year.
Because
20-year record.
So-
for
because
the
LSU is 1-8 against Bama in the last 9 games, and she's just got to.
Yeah.
She really needed to jump in here and
But-
jump on this Auburn
Just
thing.
Hey,
get-
this year though, her quarterback's on fire, man.
No, he
You
is.
just gotta give it to LSU.
Now, let me tell
We
you
did.
something, Doug. It ain't been 8 years. It's been
but their
7.
15
It's been
seconds
8
of fame is gonna be
Well,
over next year, though.
whatever.
Y'all
Maybe.
always say that. 8 years. It's been 7 years.
No, I said
And Coach O ain't. no
I
doubt about
actually
it.
said
Coach
1-8
O-
in the last 9 games.
Yes, that's correct.
Is that what you're gonna say from now on? Since
No.
after we
No.
Hey, as long as it's
We're gonna beat y'all next year, so I'm sure that number's gonna change.
you're not gonna win next
yeah,
year.
Shannon.
But
Maybe.
hey, guys,
Yes.
we are the SEC West. Sorry, Texas A&M. Sorry, Ole Miss, but Auburn, LSU, and Alabama. That's the SEC West. That's what it comes down to.
How is
Year in, year out.
A&M not dominating like that?
Ooh, I don't know.
That amazed me. You had the
Terrible
whole
job.
state of Texas No one doesn't want to go to Texas. No one doesn't want to go to Baylor.
Well, I think Florida
How
State
is-
has recently
how are
proven
they
this
not
too.
good?
That it doesn't matter how much money you have, and it doesn't matter the facilities you have, which are absolutely world class. That's not going to always translate to to wins. And Saban has proven this throughout his tenure, and there have been other coaches, Urban Meyer, Dabo Sweeney. There's a few other of those elite coaches that have kind of laid the blueprint out for managing a modern day college football program. And if you really want to be truly successful, you have to hit all the marks in recruiting. You have to have all the money's got to be right. You've got to have your facilities right. You've got to really. I mean, there's just so many different variables that go into play to actually translate to true success in college football. 2000, going on 2020.
I've noticed that kids, they also want the school has to look like it looks fun to be at. A&M doesn't look like it's fun to be at. Auburn looks fun to be at. Alabama, Alabama, they just gonna sneak to the NFL, and then you may have a chance.
Yeah.
All right, so that's why they're good. Clemson
LSU's
looks
fun.
very fun to be
LSU looks
at.
fun to me.
It has to look fun. They want to see people storming the field and stuff like that. But that's just my opinion. A&M.
You got to have a good fan base. You got to have a good fan base, man.
Shannon Russell.
LSU fan bases are pretty much just all drunks. Every one of them.
Real quick, Shannon Russell.
Every fucking one of them are just filthy, nasty, stinking piss on yourself drunks.
Shannon, I'm only going to say that Bama's 8-1 in the last 9 games in the series, as long as it's true.
But you know what, Shannon?
I'm not going to say it any beyond that.
But Shannon can say that she's glad they finally broke that streak.
No, yeah,
absolutely.
It was about to get out of hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, if LSU would have lost that one, Bama may end up putting like 10, 15 straight on LSU.
Shannon Russell, are you gonna log out of Facebook for a while if Georgia beats LSU in the SEC
Georgia
championship?
don't beat LSU. Georgia's got a good team, but they're not going to beat LSU.
Maybe. We've seen stranger things happen.
Did you see Pickens show his ass, and now he's got a set?
Come on, Walter, you hate Georgia. You're not going to admit they got a shot, even if they do.
And what is it, DeAndre Swift?
I hate Georgia more than I hate Alabama.
Walter, who do you hate? Yeah, who do you hate worse? You do hate Georgia worse than Alabama?
Oh, I rooted for Alabama on 2nd and 26.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.
I hate
so did Shannon Russell.
Yeah, Shannon did.
She just won't admit it.
Yeah, she hates her father.
But I gotta hate Georgia, man. I mean, I like a lot of.
I don't hate my dad.
Yeah, you do. You know what you did. It's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's cool.
You know who I hate worse than Georgia? Kirby Smart. I mean, as long as I kind of respected Mark Richt a little bit, Kirby Smart, man. I mean, probably never.
All right, Walter, what's more annoying? A person saying we have 17 national championships, or someone coming up to you and trying to bark like a damn dog in your face? What's more annoying?
The dogs. I mean, you got to win one first. You got to win one first.
Oh, did they do that? They bark in your face?
Yes. They come up to you. I went to Auburn, Georgia game, many of them, and they come up to you and bark in your damn face like a damn mutt.
Shannon Russell, who do you hate worse?
There's nothing more annoying in this world than that.
Shannon will cheer for Georgia. She hates Alabama.
Yeah, well, Shannon, who do you hate worse? Do you hate Alabama or your dad?
I do not hate my dad.
I think you do. I really do. And we were talking about this off air, Doug and myself. We do. We think it's a paternal thing with you. We really do. We're gonna get a GoFundMe together and get you some therapy, you and your dad.
Well, I didn't think of it that way.
If you were Bama fans, it would be couples therapy.
But maybe it was getting beat 8 years in a row and having to hear that.
Why do you assume that
as an Auburn fan, I can't really say anything to her because LSU's been smacking her ass too. So
they have.
Yeah.
We've lost more in a row to LSU.
But I mean,
Alabama.
That happens sometimes. You'll get over it.
3 in a row.
You'll start beating them again. We're gonna do it next year.
That's the thing. We should have done it twice already and didn't, and that makes you shake your head.
It happens, man. Shit.
I think we
some of the water down there.
Florida
Tequila.
and Georgia, we're closer to beating them than we were to LSU.
Georgia, we didn't score a point on Georgia until the fourth quarter. I mean,
yeah,
we had 3 games this year.
Yeah,
where
but
Gus
we had 2
did a
drives
really bad
at
job.
the end where we were like right there. LSU, we just kick the field goals instead of scoring touchdowns. I mean, you can't really change that, but you can change the fact that we're right there versus Georgia and Florida.
I tell you what, when Bo Nix threw that pick in the end zone in Gainesville, That was the narrative for the whole season. I knew from that point on it was going to be a fight every game, and we're lucky to come out.
Well, you know, Alabama plays in the same state that Auburn's located in. Why couldn't they do us a favor like that? Is what I'm trying to fucking figure out.
You gave the ball to the defense. That's on you guys.
I mean, Bama's defense
twice,
it's just
2
like,
times here
I didn't
straight.
know
Here,
they
everybody
were
move
that
out of the
bad.
way, and y'all score touchdowns with this shit. Yeah, that was great.
I didn't know Bama was that bad. Like it.
Shut the. Now look. Now y'all are taking this way too far. Now y'all are. That's what I'm saying. You give people an inch, and they start fucking coming on your show and taking a mile.
Well, I was.
You know, I'm a
wondering how
fucking
Mac was
Alabama
gonna
fan.
play.
And you're just gonna come on here and talk some shit like that.
No, I was
You
just
watching
wondering.
the game? You don't
Shut up,
think
woman.
Bama looked like
Shut
that?
woman.
I
Shut
was
woman.
wondering how McCorkle would play, and he actually, for half the game, man, I thought he was playing pretty solid.
I'm glad
for
that
most of the
everybody's
game.
calling him McCorkle now. I want to say that I've started a new trend, and I want to say by the end of next year, everybody's going to be calling that motherfucker McCorkle.
Man,
He
only
will
made
never be
two-
called Mac Jones again as
He
long as I
only
live.
made 2 bad plays yesterday.
But they were there were 2 plays that, and really, to be fair,
2 for 4 on contested third.
both of those plays did not kill the game for Alabama. Both of those pick sixes did not kill the game for Alabama.
But what about that last?
All it
what
needed
about
is
that
one.
last formation? Though? What about that last formation?
Man,
Boy,
fuck that last formation.
I think Alabama fans and Saban.
Fuck
they're still
that last
confused about
formation.
that
How
last
about that?
Oh man, that was a classic way to end it. It really was.
It was fitting.
Like, how does Saban have the audacity to sit there and say on TV, "Oh yeah, he tricked me. That's unfair." What
He
kind
said-
of
no,
crybaby
what he
shit
said-
is that?
what he
Like,
said
dude,
was
are you
that-
sitting there
Let
really
Walter.
trying to
Walter
get
sounds more
70 years
logical
old
about
and
this.
crying
Yeah,
on TV?
because that's not what he said.
said was that Auburn got a chance to substitute, so we should get a chance to substitute also.
Jalen
And
Waddle
Auburn
wouldn't get
did
off
put
the field.
That's
Waddle
right.
would not get
Auburn
off
did
the
put the
field.
punter in, but I don't know how long Saban wanted him to give him. But they caught him with 12 men on
Well,
the field.
this part's easy because we know a frequent contributor to the show, Landon Beeman, has passed away recently. We do know through our hashtag inside sources that he had been paying refs on behalf of Alabama for quite some time. Hashtag lifestyles are rich and famous.
Yeah,
So-
what were the refs yesterday?
So
man?
when
What
he
were the
passed
refs?
away, that's what I'm saying. When he passed away, the refs went to Alabama for that money. They were come up a little short. Those challengers, they cost money. And
Gus gave him some of his paycheck.
no, I don't think it was anything like that because Gus doesn't. We all know that the coach doesn't come straight up with that money. That they're boosters, prominent people like Landon Beeman.
I mean, he's on the edge though, man.
So Landon passed, and unfortunately, we don't have the favor with the refs that we
He
used to
has
have.
a trust fund set up though. He just needs an arbiter.
Well, I think that money goes elsewhere throughout the University of Alabama. He's kind of
Well, let me
propping
ask
them
you
up
this.
right now.
Who do you guys think you'll play in the bowl game?
Either the loser.
I don't give a
the
fuck. I'm
person-
not going to watch it.
The people who get left out of the playoffs, either Oklahoma or Utah.
Maybe Georgia.
I think Oklahoma.
Yeah, up about Bama and Auburn because y'all gonna be watching the couch. Who y'all gonna support?
Ooh, Alabama and Auburn in the Sugar Bowl.
It's too bad we can't rematch. I don't
That'd be
think we
fucking
will with
awesome,
3
actually.
losses.
That's
Y'all
unprecedented.
all-
We're
Y'all will
predicting
get a
That's
playoff
never
team
happened
in the
before.
Citrus Bowl.
Oh, well,
Alabama and Auburn have never gone to a postseason bowl
No.
game together.
no, but
What
it's
a-
happened.
What about Oklahoma? You think they'll get left out of the CFP?
I do
Like,
not.
Draw Oklahoma.
I think if Oklahoma wins out, I think they're in. I'm not. I mean,
If
I
they
know.
beat
I know
Baylor.
that's going to piss off Sky in the station, but fuck Sky.
I got to go back and
want
look at the
Georgia to
resume,
be-
but
it
I do
just-
want to
it
say
would be
that
the
Oklahoma
definition
has.
of
So you don't think
Pac-12.
so y'all don't think the committee's gonna give Pac-12 a chance to get in?
I think that the winner of the Oklahoma Baylor game is likely in the 4th spot. I think both of
think
them,
so?
either one, will have a better resume than Oregon.
I
mean, sorry,
Oregon beats
sorry,
Utah. I
than,
think they
Utah.
have a better
Utah,
off-
yeah.
I
their
hope
offense
Oregon's-
is better than their defense.
I hope Oregon beats Utah. But let me ask you this, Doug. How many touchdowns do you think Jalen Waddle would score on Utah? 6 or 8?
As
seven?
many, definitely as many as he did against Auburn. And
Yeah.
Auburn's a better defense than Utah. So
Do you think so?
I do.
Oh man, I hope Sky's listening.
Sky in the station? Yeah, I hope he's listening.
Well, I'll make a clip of this and I'll send it straight to his inbox.
Yeah.
I know he didn't get to put Auburn.
You know,
number one on his
if Utah wins the pack,
ballot.
though, Sky's going to be on the show, and he's going to be in rare form.
Actually,
have him on, yeah.
he's
Vindication.
he's coming on this Thursday. with Gary Oak.
Oh, okay. Oh, Gary Oak.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gary Oak
I
is
think Auburn squeezes in the top 10.
a new addition to the show.
CFP, poll.
Guys, there's a rumor that Gary Oak is Landon Beeman. It's
That's
not true.
That's not
It's
true.
definitely not true.
Not true.
Who are we playing in the bowl game?
Wisconsin.
Let's see, Indiana.
Citrus.
How about Indiana?
Yeah, probably. I'll
That's,
take Indiana.
That's who I saw on the CBS.
Was that a projected?
They predicted us to play Wisconsin and Citrus.
How does everybody?
9 games? 8 games?
How does everybody feel about them Vols going to a bowl?
Good for them.
When they lost to Georgia State, I would have swore up and down they wouldn't have been bowl worthy.
Y'all
want to
meet down?
They're headed to a motherfucking bowl.
Y'all all want to meet in Birmingham and watch that bowl?
I think so. It's right down the street from us.
Oh, word.
Yeah, the
I can
Legion
make it to
Field.
Birmingham.
Alabama's an open carry.
Come on,
state, so I
Shannon,
would
you coming up?
Definitely bring a gun for that.
Shannon, you coming
For
up for
what?
the Vols?
Am I coming up for what?
You coming up for the Vol bowl game in Birmingham?
I'd like to.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see you there.
Hey, I know some people. If it goes down, if the Vols wind up playing the Birmingham Bowl, we'll pull some strings and make that happen.
Shannon Russell.
What?
Or would Mississippi State go to that bowl game since they're 6-6?
Yeah.
Are they 6-6?
Yeah, Mississippi State 6-6.
They beat Ole Miss by that guy.
Shit, you're
by
right.
that
You're
guy
right.
pretending to piss on the field.
That was a good move.
Find Smacking Off the podcast on Facebook and on YouTube.
Check out Smacking Off the podcast on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, and the College Football Wrap-Up cast, Sundays 9:30 p.m. Eastern.